now the latest on the wide world of tropics. Hypo hurricane outlook for May the 25th. So, Tito is still active, but it's basically dissipated at this point, so we don't have any real tropical cyclones. However, that's probably going to be short-lived, as we keep saying in every outlook. The Eastern Pacific is just eagerly waiting for Tito to die, so that 9E can take Tito's place and basically become the same thing, except straight up won't even become a hurricane probably. It has like 2 days left. Actually, it has until tomorrow to form. Otherwise, it's just not going to form because conditions will become too unfavorable for the storm. And by that point, it looks like we won't see any May storms. So jumping into the Atlantic, 6 days until hurricane season starts here, and we can now safely say that the Atlantic will not have an early storm this year because we still have absolutely nothing. And even if something just tried to spin up, it's way too unfavorable right now. And it looks like we might not see anything until probably late June. We won't even see our first named storm in early June, which is what usually happens in these kinds of seasons, but that's not going to happen this year. The only physical way we get an early storm is if something quickly spins up on New England, but right now we have nothing that can do that. There is a storm coming along the East Coast, but we'll just have to wait and see if that does anything. Highly doubt it does do anything, but for now, the North Atlantic remains quiet. So we're pretty quiet in the Atlantic. However, in the Eastern Pacific, it's the opposite of what the Atlantic's doing. And this 9E actually rapidly spinned up, and it's pretty much started to turn into a tropical depression. As a matter of fact, as this is going out, I'm pretty sure that it will be upgraded into a tropical depression or even a tropical storm. It has an 80% chance of forming right now, and if it does form, then we will have the last May storm of this year. And then, of course, we have another area of interest expected to form late next week, though. So not this week, but late next week. Basically, what that means is that it got pushed even further into like June. And if it keeps getting pushed straight up, it's not going to form. It still has a 20% chance, and conditions are not favorable for it. It's not expected to gradually develop just like 9E just did. If it does, then we have a very weird Eastern Pacific. But right now, nothing is happening that will cause any significance to the coast of Mexico. And that's good because we do not need a strong storm hitting Mexico in May. So we'll just have to wait and see if the Eastern Pacific will get very active this year for its May. So in the Western Pacific, things are finally winding down as Tito has turned into a relevant low over China. It's starting to turn south towards the South China Sea, but basically by then it will just be absolutely nothing. It's not going to form in the South China Sea like they think it's going to be. And after Tito finally dies, we will be very quiet in the Western Pacific. Probably not see much until July and August. That's when it really ramps up in the Western Pacific. So right now, basically, we can just safely say that the Western Pacific is done for May. At this point, it is getting annoying for me to keep wasting my oxygen to talk about this basin because nothing's supposed to happen until September in this basin. The North Indian Ocean, we still have nothing, and it shouldn't even say 7 days. No tropical activity should be expected until September because we really do not have any favorable places for storms to form. Oh, and P.S., North Indian Ocean was the shortest one out of all of these. It was only like 25 seconds, while the others were at least a good minute. Right now, North Atlantic still waiting for Andrea. We're definitely not going to see that in May. We're definitely going to start on time, unless June becomes very inactive. The Eastern Pacific, will we get Alvin tomorrow? We'll just have to wait and see. Central Pacific, waiting for Iona. We're probably not going to see that until August, because that's when it will have an actual chance of forming. The Western Pacific is waiting for Nimbus. Let's see how long it takes us to get that one. And then the North Indian Ocean, we'll see Indra in probably September. And if we don't see it in September, then we'll see it in 2026. That is all for today's Hypo Hurricane Outlook. This is actually quite a long one. It's actually 6 minutes now. So we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see if we have our 27th storm of the season.